Hey there, clan, and welcome to Warriors Geeky News, where I talk about various geeky topics when the news comes out about them. This one is primarily going to be on the newest news about Batman Arkham Knight's DLC. Now, I'm going to also give my quick thoughts on the DLC so far that has been released for the game. Primarily, the DLC that has been released for Batman Arkham Knight has been okay. Most of it is just skins, in all honesty. And while it is nice, and they're not terribly expensive, the most expensive one probably being the packs, which have anywhere from 2 to 4 skins, they're normally about $169, which in all honesty, for skins, I don't mind the skin prices. Most of the skins are when individually ones, like the Batman Beyond skin, is only like maybe £1. It is actually 69 pence. So the skins are not overly charged. And I don't mind that actually. It has primarily been skins, and then of course there's been the eventual release of the Harley Quinn DLC, the Red Hood DLC, and of course the Batgirl DLC. Which those are the 3 story DLCs that have been released so far. I haven't played the Red Hood DLC because I'd heard really bad things, in all honesty, about it, and I eventually just ended up watching it on YouTube, and I could honestly say I would have been pissed if I had paid for it, in all honesty. But the 2 DLCs that I have played story-based, of course, have been Harley Quinn and, of course, Batgirl. The Harley Quinn DLC I wanted more of, and the Batgirl DLC I thought was really good to an extent, but overall it was not really worth the price they were asking for it, in all honesty. And so far, those types of DLCs have been kind of lackluster when it comes to Batman Arkham Knight. I actually don't mind these Arkham episodes. I can understand them wanting having separate settings, separate area where you can play these characters. I'm completely fine with it. Batgirl was probably my favourite, in all honesty, out of them all, even though Harley Quinn was really good. I just wish they were longer. They normally only last for about an hour or so, and in all honesty, it's not really worth the price that they're asking for it. But at the same time, we got to see Batgirl finally in the game, which I'm very happy about. Now, Rocksteady have announced that there is some new DLC coming out in December, and there's actually one story-based DLC, but I will go through the DLCs one by one, and here's the ones that have been announced so far, and I will give my quick thoughts on them. The new Batman Arkham Knight DLCs that are coming starting on September 1st, and then eventually the other ones will come out throughout the month, as there will be new AR missions, augmented reality missions, where you'll actually get to play as Nightwing, Robin, and Catwoman, and of course Batman, which in my opinion is one of the major things I don't like about the AR missions in Batman Arkham Knight, is the fact that they're all Batman focused, while there are other characters like Robin, Catwoman, and of course Nightwing. And of course, I wouldn't mind a few Batgirl AR missions if you want me to be honest. There is the Azazel ones, but those are story based in my opinion, so not really much. But I'm actually kind of happy that we are getting AR missions for these characters, because Nightwing, I really like the way he played. Robin, I really like the way he played, and of course Catwoman, I've liked how she fights in the game and how he plays her ever since Arkham City, which is probably her segments were one of the most interesting aspects of it. But we are getting some new AR missions, and that in my opinion is okay, as long as they don't charge too much for it, which if it's to go anything with the other AR missions they released throughout the tenure, which of course the most recent one being the Batman 1989 Batman skin with Batmobile, which was only like £1.69, which I bought, and it was actually really cool to drive the Tim Burton Batman mobile. It was actually kind of cool to drive that thing. I really liked it. Call me a geek. But I'm happy that we're getting that. Now, this DLC is the one that actually interests me the most. It's called GCPD Lockup, and the synopsis that we've been given of it is that you will play as Nightwing, who's going to stop Penguin from escaping the GCPD Lockup, the area in Arkham Knight, after the events of the game. This is our first ever piece of post-ending DLC that we've got, like events after the ending. You'll be playing as Nightwing, supposedly going to stop Penguin from escaping the lockup, basically. This is actually kind of interesting. Now, I'm assuming that this will be very similar to the Arkham episodes, and it will be in the Arkham episodes thing, and it probably will not be that long if anything's to go by, but it depends on what they do with this DLC. I don't know if this will be, like, you can play after the game, or if you will have to play it in the Arkham episodes. This is the one that's probably the one I'm interested in more, but at the same time I'm still a bit tentative when it comes to this DLC, just because of the fact of the previous Arkham episodes have been way too short in my opinion, or overall disappointing. But we'll wait and see. Hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully this one will be a good DLC, and of course Nightwing deserves a little bit of love. And now the other 2 ones are just merely skin packs. The Tumblr Batmobile DLC skin will be available later in September, which is, of course, if you're unfamiliar, of course, is the Batmobile from the Dark Knight trilogy. Now, I don't think they'll include the bike, if you want me to be honest, which would bit of a disappointment. I was never too keen on the Tumbler personally, so this is probably a DLC skin I'll skip. That's the one Batmobile that I did not like at all. It just was not my interest, and even then, the Arkham Knight one is... The Arkham Knight one, in my opinion, is very heavily based on the Tumbler, and in my opinion, it's pretty much the Tumbler. But as it is, if you like the Batman, the Dark Knight movies, that's completely fine. This might be a skin you'll probably pick up. And then the final skin, which has been announced, is the original Arkham Asylum skin from the Arkham Asylum game, of course, which is just for like a little bit of nostalgia, I'm guessing, for those that may want to fly around Gotham City playing as the original Batman from Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, as I say, I will give credit to Rocksteady for keeping up the DLC, even if they are purely skin packs for a relatively cheap price. In all honesty, the skin packs have not been overly expensive. Either sold individually or you can buy them in packs, and they're normally no more expensive than like £2. I've never seen one higher than. So that I actually like. I like the fact that these cosmetic skins are optional. They don't add anything to the game. You can just buy them to your heart's content, and you can get them for less than £1 normally. I'm okay with these skins. I'm actually kind of surprised how they've been handling the DLC. The only thing I haven't liked, of course, is the lack of endgame DLC, which we are getting with Nightwing. I just hope that it's longer than the previous Arkham episodes, personally, as it is. Batgirl's probably my favourite, but that's probably just for the sheer fact that I love that character so much. Harley Quinn's is probably very, very close to that. But I am excited to see this Nightwing one. I do hope it is longer than an hour, in all honesty. Of course, that depends on what you did in the game, in all honesty. But I'm actually kind of excited for that particular DLC alone. The skins and the AR missions are completely optional, in my opinion. I may pick up the AR missions just for the fact that I get to play as Catwoman, Robin, and Nightwing, and don't have to play as bloody Batman every single day. The other skins, maybe, as I have some spare dosh. But other than that, I think that's actually kind of interesting, the fact that they're going to be announcing the DLCs. And as I said, I do not know if these are the final DLCs that they'll be announcing, but Arkham Knight is getting a shit ton of skins, and I'm okay with that, personally. Other than that, I think that's where I'll wrap things up. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, feel free to let me know what your thoughts are on these DLCs, and of course, what ones do you think, what ones are you excited, of course, about? As it is, the one I'm probably going to pick up is definitely going to be the Lockup DLC, just for the fact that it is set after the events of the game, which I'm kind of interested to see how that plays out, and of course, after what happens at the ending, which I won't spoil for anyone. Other than that, I thank you for watching. As always, I'm Scottish182, and I'll see you all next time. Ciao for now.